G'day everybody, it's Hunter here. So my headlights blew again. So I'm sick to death of the standard globes on my Navara, my D40 Navara. They only last about 500 hours and I get up early in the morning, so I have them on pretty much every day, pretty much all year round. So they don't last long and they're about like $89 a pair. So when you start adding up having to replace them every year and how much time and effort it is to do it, I've decided, fuck it, I am going to an LED conversion. Now, there is a little bit of a disclaimer. In some states, this is actually regarded as not legal. In South Australia, it is legal as long as your headlights are basically adjustable, electronically adjustable. So if you basically have that little dial that brings your lights up and down, you're pretty much in the safe. If you don't have that option, then unfortunately you're not safe. So it's mainly, modern cars these days come out with LEDs anyway, so it's mainly to sort of combat that. So I'm going to get this out and show you what's that includes in this kit in particular. So in this kit you get your two lights and you get your adapter. This is a H4 adapter, obviously, because my car's a H4 fitting. You do have to modify your rubber boot, but I'll show you how to do that, so then that way you can fit these on. So essentially this goes in your factory setting. You've got your cooler here because these do get pretty warm, so they have this big cooling fins to cool them down. These are $114, so these are your sort of budget ones. And everyone claims they're pretty good, so the reviews are good on them. I didn't want to spend the $200 for the direct fit ones, which are basically this bit here but with the H4 adapter on the bottom. So yeah, so I'll show you how to change the globes on a D40 Navara anyway, because they are a pain in the ass. So to change a D40 headlight, you can see that square thing at the back there, that's a headlight. So they're really tight on the battery side, so on the driver's side. You do actually have to remove the battery to get to it. Otherwise you just don't have the room. But with the airbox in the way, you can get this in and out without any too much dramas. But this is the rubber boot you have to modify to get it to fit. So what I do is, you need two hands. I grab hold of the bracket essentially through the rubber boot. I then, with the other hand, I then grab onto this bit here, and then I just pull with even pressure while also gently wiggling it. And you want to be careful not to pull too tight or push too tight in when you reinstall it, because the mounting bracket that actually moves up and down on the motor is really easy to pop out, and to pop it back in is a fucking prick of a thing to do. So just be careful. That's why I always one hand on basically the globe and the mountain, so that way you can keep that as stable as possible, and then only apply it, and then that way you can only apply pressure on this plug here. It is tight, take your time. I advise against using screwdrivers because you can actually damage the plastic, it's very brittle. But just even pressure, constant pressure, jiggle a little bit, and eventually you will get it undone. It will take like a minute or two, but you'll get it undone. It's just really tight and awkward to get to, that's all. So we'll take this out and show you how to install the LEDs. So I unplugged it, so I unplugged the port. I'm going to reconnect my spotties back up. I had unplugged them originally because I was having issues with the lights blowing yearly, but then I realized that these just only have 500 hours, so that's the reason why. So to undo, this is your globe here. To undo it, you just pop that down and then sort of pop it out like that, down, pop it out like that, and then that lifts it out. It's the exact same process on the driver's side, so essentially the only difference is you have to take the battery out. So I'm only going to show you how to do one side and then pretty much just copy the exact same process for the opposite side. Okay, so to install these, basically what you do is you got to twist this to the right, and that loosens it. And well, if you look in the back, you screw it that way, and then you pull out and it will pull out. It's got two little nub screws that sort of lock it in. And then what you do is you take this out, you do that, and you put it inside the retaining clips. And then when you go to install, you feed this through and then you twist it back in to lock it in. So that's how you mount these to the retaining clips. Alright, to modify my boot, I am going to cut this lip back so then that way it sits flush with this bit, and then that will still hold its waterproof or water resistant, it's not really waterproof, but water resistant ability, and also help keep the dust out. We'll give that a go. Just be careful when you're doing this, because if you stuff up, basically you can't really go back. Once you stuff these, you have to buy a whole new boot. But we're going to give it a go that way. The other alternative that I was thinking of doing was maybe even feeding this through, cutting a slight size there and then fitting this boot through, because it does stretch a bit, like it can stretch like that. I might give that a go before I cut that, but I'm going to make slight little cuts, feed that through, see if I can do it that way. If it doesn't fit, then I'll cut that way. If I can keep this as intact as possible, that's obviously the better option. Alright, so that method actually worked, making the slight little cuts, like tiny little cuts in the back, and then feeding the plug through it actually works quite well. So that's pretty water resistant now. So yeah, that's in now. It's all locked in there, all secure. So I'm just going to hook this up to my spotties. Just giving a bit of a clean out, and yeah, I think they'll be a lot better now. I'm actually happy with that. This is going to be a lot easier to deal with than the old H globes. They're actually more of a pain in the ass than these. That surprised me. So going over it again, to take out your old ones, unplug that by having one hand on the bracket of your headlight and then one hand pulling on this plug with even pressure, and then just wiggle a little bit. That helps. Once you take the old globe out with the LEDs, to take the collar off, you just turn it this way and then pop it off, mount that inside the bracket, then cut a hole inside the rubber grommet, probably 2 slits top and bottom, or I did diagonal like that, so you can feed this plug through. So once you've cut that to size, make sure it fits, then take the boot off, then you mount this inside the bracket, then you get the boot, feed this through, put the boot over the headlight bracket, and then make sure it seats in nicely, and then you just plug your headlights in. That's it, done. Nice and easy. These will last a hell of a lot longer than your conventional bulbs. It will, doesn't say how long this lasts actually. No, it doesn't say. It just says how many lumens. I don't really care about lumens, I care about hours. So yeah, that's how you do a conversion kit on a D40 Navara. So now I've got to do the driver's side, which means I have to take the battery out and do all this, but that's easier once I get the battery out, because at least I got the room to do it. So yeah, I hope this helps anyone in the future, so you don't need to actually butcher your boot. Like, fuck for that. So that's good. Alright, on to the last one, and then I'm done. And I'll do a video up tonight of how bright it is. Okay, so it's now night time, and we're going to see how these LED lights perform. I did test them after I installed the right hand headlight, and it all worked perfectly fine. I also reconnected up my spotlights, so let's see how good it is at night. Alright, so that's the LED. So I feel like a retard. That's my Parker, and that's my LED lights. So look how bright that is. That's excellent. Look how good that is. I hope it has good range. But anyway, I hope these videos help you in the future with doing this conversion kit. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content on D40's Navara. Yeah, have a good night. See you later.